So we are coming to the next segment. We had a very good session with the Amatya Karka. So let's move on. I know we have 12 houses in the Jyotish. Each house is very important. We know that. Each house has its own purpose to teach us something. But today, I want to focus more on the houses, starting with the sixth house. In the past, we have spoken about the sixth house in tidbits, but today I want to go more deep, dive deep into the sixth house. What is the purpose of the sixth house? What sixth house want from us? Some connects this, and it is with the prarabdha, karmas. So somehow it affects us so bad that problem never ends. Some of the myths are also that I have malefics and myths, sixth house. Will I go through a divorce? Some ask that my sixth house is empty. So what does that mean? So can you tell us the concept why we have the sixth house in Jyotish Shastra or in the 12th house of the and because I wanted to cover the some of the myths which gives a lot of anxiety to the viewers, to the students. And our purpose, RU Ketu and Aman Bedi astrology, is always such to take the anxiety down and talk more on the Shastra based. So please, Bhaiya, over to you.
See, first thing to understand is that sixth house is not a bad house. It is an Upachya house. Upachya meaning in the Vedic sciences is what takes you upward. Upward meaning in every platform. Earthy, non-earthy, spiritual, financial. Why they say it is an Upachya house? Because let us say you're doing some sort of a work and you need money for it.
Right.
Now the sixth house is the house of Rind, Rog and Shatru.
Right.
It represents the debt, the disease and the enemy. But from here the misconception starts.
Yes.
The
Yes.
misconception starts that this is not the house of debt, disease or enmity. This is the house fighting these things.
Okay. Okay. This is
Okay,
the house
the
fighting for these things. Okay.
misconception starts from the very down bottom, from the first point of go itself. Sixth house does not show disease. Disease will come from time to time from Dasha, Antardasha, Gochar, from the weakest planet or the afflicted planet. If everybody starts delineating diseases from sixth house, then the only disease is the stomach. But you have the disease of the ear also, the eye also, the throat also, the neck also, the spine also, the heart also, the lungs also,
Right.
the speech also. The basic misconception needs to be corrected that sixth house is the house of disease fighting. Sixth house is the house of debt fighting. Sixth house is the house of enemy fighting.
Fighting.
Whether I am going to win over my enemies. Vedic Jyotish says that you do not see diseases. You see debt because of your earning abilities or disabilities. You see
Right.
debt because of your mischief, because
Right.
of your uncalculated investments. These days, the market is so volatile. A lot of people come and tell me this share is going up, that share is going down. In the evening, those same people are crying. Tomorrow morning, some other people are happy. I made so much of money. After 1 week, they are also crying. Whatever I made, I lost. Sixth house defines how I use my.
Makes sense.
Use it right. I may not be in debt for. Like somebody started a new business,
Ji.
and for let's say 1 year he does very well by fluke or luck, and he suddenly takes a loan to grow his business. But his problem is he's not understood the business deeply. It's been just 1 year. And he considers that if I take this much of investment and suddenly buy stocks or other things, I feel might go down with this and I'm going to sell at higher prices. He mortgages his home, takes a loan, and then realizes that that was not the right decision. He loses his business, he loses his house, runs around to astrologers. And most of them tell me, okay, this dasha was not right. You should have worn this. This stone is good for you. This yantra is good for you. This mantra is good for you. Keep doing this and you will. But the basic factor is you do not know how to do business. This is the power of the sixth house. People with stronger sixth house, they wait. They wait to understand. Why sixth house? Because it is second from fifth.
Fifth.
It is the growth of your intellect.
Intellect. Very
Fifth
logical.
house is of intellect and future. Sixth house is second from itself. It is the house of growth of intellect, growth of your future. Shastra says malefic here do very well. So if you have a Rahu, Sun, Saturn, Ketu, Mars, excellent. Why? Because they keep the ideas and growth of the fifth house in check. You have Saturn in the sixth house. The person is not timid, but very cautious. Yeah, I'm not going to invest in this. I don't know anything about it. Whatever little I have, I am not going to experiment. The experimentation stops. So they say malefic here do well. But what if you have moon here?
Yeah.
So you have a idea in the fifth house and you have nothing to control. The growth factor is also there. So blindly you follow whatever you want and you lose money. Problem with students is they mug up that okay, malefics in sixth house is good, but they do not understand what is the reason.
Okay.
They have Jupiter giving a lot of disease and a lot of money issues in sixth house.
Big time I have seen. Yeah.
But Rahu will not. Because the person is cautious. He said, let me understand where I'm investing. Talk to me. Tell me the entire story.
Yeah, they are
But I
more
have
health
people
conscious.
who
I have
say the
also
bank
seen.
has guided me and I lost money. So I ask them one thing. Did you understand the subject? What is my need to understand the subject? When I am paying the person, this is the difference between a malefic in the sixth house and a malefic in the sixth house.
But yeah, if I may, what if malefic and benefic both sitting in the sixth house? Like moon with Ketu, moon with Mars.
That is called a Dvand Yudh. That is called a Greh Yudh. For that, you need a good astrologer to delineate what is stronger and the character of the person, what is conquering more, whether he's emotionally taking a decision or whether he's spiritually taking a decision. Both the planets are not so good in the sixth house. Either you'll be emotional or spiritual. Okay, I get this intuition that I need to do this. They do this, half the time is right, half of the time is wrong. This is basic probability.
Okay. Yeah,
You understand?
makes sense. Makes sense.
For the your karmas to decide. You see, you were born with Moon Ketu in the sixth of the time of your birth. Now you are 50, 60-year old. How the karmas have changed Moon and Ketu?
Yeah, yeah.
That is also needed to be understood.
Right.
You cannot just, I don't see the horoscope. I need to see the person also at that.
Right. 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 Bilkul. Ji.
Where are your karmas? I need to talk and understand the questions. You may be talking about your money, but your horoscope says that there is something different. I need to understand it. I need your karmas to understand it. That did you lose your father's money? Did you splash it around? Did you waste it totally when he was alive? If the answer is yes, then after he passes away, you'll become poor and miserable. So I asked them, after your father's death, you become a poor man. So true. Because there are certain Sun Rahu combinations which suggests that as long as the father is alive, he will do for the child. But the child will always abuse him. He will not consider him to be too good. Now, as long as the Karak Tattva is alive, you may not feel the pinch of Rahu.
Right. The heat.
Because the father is alive. Whatever Rahu is coming, he is taking on himself.
Yeah.
What if father passes away? Then there is no cushion between you and Rahu. Then he is going to come in full force and attack. And then you will be bewildered. What went wrong? I had so much. And within a span of 5 years, I'm on roads. These are the things that are to be considered deeply.
Abhaya, like some of the audience again might say, like, I don't have any planet in sixth house, so it means I don't have to perform anything. Or too many malefics, will I get a divorce? Will that happen every time? You need to clear this.
See, it's just like if I don't have somebody living in the house, that does not mean it does not have an owner.
Owner, right?
Maybe the owner is sitting somewhere else. He's got 10 different houses and he's a very powerful man. He's never visited this house. We visited probably once a year or once in 5 years, but still he's got full control over it. How can you say that a planet or a house is empty will be weak?
See.
Yes, on the other side, what you just said is correct. Too many planets in one house. There is an infighting among planets to win. Whose power is going to dominate the house? Here, the karmas play more important role. Let's say if I have 4 different planets in the 10th house, I may be changing my career constantly and may be very suffering from because of my profession. But if I know how to handle it properly, I probably would be doing 3 different work or jobs or career at one time and doing excellent in all 3 of them.
Right. Right.
It is how I absorb the energy and how I take it and reflect. That's more important. That is what is karma. I got a confused 10th house, but I managed it well. I tried to keep every energy separate. That is why I am progressing. And you have such good businessmen who do not have more than one planet in the 10th house, but they are running 20 different businesses. Mr. Tata, big example.
Huge fan of him.
Very strong philanthropy, very strong business, very strong ideas of giving money, helping the society. Whatever you are earning, you are giving back.
A very simple person.
Excellent chart, excellent things.
But yeah, again, to be continued in the same segment, what if the benefic, I know we have talked a lot of times about exaltation, debilitation, we don't believe in that. What if a natural planet gets debilited in the house wise, but exalted sitting in the sixth house, like Venus? Exalted in Pisces, but sitting in sixth house. Many people
Got your-
have this combination.
Got your point.
Okay,
I will give a general statement, people will understand.
please.
You should have 6th, 8th, and 12th house strong, the strongest possible. Okay? If you have an exalted Mercury in 6th house, excellent. If you have a debilitated Mercury in 6th house, not so good. Lord of the 6th, 8th, and 12th need to be strong. 6th, 8th, and 12th houses need to be
Strong.
Weakness will cause more problems to the 6th house. You will fall sick often. Your recovery will become weak. You will have more than 1 or 2 diseases every time. Something or the other will always be running with you. One problem over, second problem taken. Weak 6th house. The ability, disease fighting ability is not there.
Not that much. Yeah.
One line will clear everything. 6th, 8th, and 12th. Trik Bhavan.
So,
The 3 malefic houses, they need to be strong. 8th house is the house of delays. If I have a strong 6th house, my delays become suddenness.
yeah.
So I win a lottery all of a sudden. But if my 8th house is weak, I keep on investing all my life. Did not win even one lottery once. No sudden gains.
Yeah.
Even the malefics needs to be strong.
That's a good
If
point.
Rahu is strong, he will not take you on an earthy platform. He will take you on the higher platforms. Please see to it that if the moment you find a weak 6th house, you can tell the person that, okay, please keep your health all right. This is the only thing you need to focus. Distribute food to the poor. Give food to the hungry. This is what is going to keep your health okay because you did not in your last birth. If I am earning and I am feeding somebody, who am I to feed? God feeds everybody. But if I am
Becoming the mediator.
I am becoming a medium that somebody sleeps with a tummy full,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
then in this life, in next life, I have a good body. I have a healthy body. Good diet is promised to me by destiny.
Bhaiya, this reminds me, there was one secret you gave me, I think 2, 3 years back. So if you allow me, I really wanted to share with your permission because this relates to sixth house. You mentioned, Aman, I think I did ask you how to fix if people are having planets in sixth, eighth, 12th. But again, you said, I will tell you in one line. In order to fix anything, you said anything. If you're facing some troubles, if you want to fix anything, start giving that out. Having health issues, just like you mentioned in the sixth house, start helping the needy people who are in need to who can, somehow cannot afford to go to a doctor's specialist. Say try to become a medium to help them. Your sixth house will be taken care of. I don't know if you remember, but I do remember. This was like 3, 4 years back. Same thing you said for 12th about the donation money. You were like, whatever you're lacking in your life, start giving it out. So that was a secret, not anymore.
Why? The reason for this is in the journey of the soul needs to understand why am I suffering.
Yeah.
So I did not take care of health of people around. I had the means, I did not.
Did not.
Be it food, be it health, be it emotional happiness, spiritual happiness, financial happiness. I did not. It's a very important thing to understand what Lord Krishna said. That karam is important. And that is the only thing that is going to go with you when you die.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these materialistic things here need to be shared with people.
Yeah.
If you share it, it is insured in your next. So if you are very sick, not able to digest food, start distributing food.
Yeah.
If you lack money, help people financially, whatever little you can. Just take out some portion of your earnings. That is what the masters say. That is what every spiritual book says, that you need to give some percentage to the needy. Why they say it? Just to ensure your safety in this birth and to get you a good next birth. It's a universal formula. If your health is not keeping all right, start helping people. Start donating medicine in the hospitals. Start helping people with food. There are so many people, there are so many underprivileged people who need food. Just one at a time. One person helping one person at a time
Yeah.
can change the entire world.
Absolutely.
If somebody is in need of money, you cannot help them. At least you can help them fix food for their family. In the way that it is written, An is Brahm. This is exactly how I quote. An is Brahm. Brahm meaning God. So my distributing of food is distribution of Brahm,
Brahm.
Devta to everybody.
Very nice.
It's the highest thing that people can do is to give food. When I remember my elders in the family, the first thing they used to cook in the morning or the evening, the first chapati or the first bowl of rice or the first whatever they used to cook was kept separately. One for the sadhu who's going to come, one for the crow, one for the cow, one for the dog. And people used to call Indians stupid. They are stupid. What kind of a thing is this? You are going to have 4 chapatis yourself and 10 chapatis you are cooking for everybody. इतना दीजियो मोको जामे कुटुम समाए मैं भी भूखा ना सोऊं अतिथि भूखा ना जाए. Oh God, give me this much that I can feed my family and myself, and whoever comes to my door should never go empty handed.
Empty hands.
I need this much only. Whoever comes to my door, I can feed him or help them. So there's still these practices are finished. That is why we suffer a lot. But if I remember my elders or my grandparents, they had this concept that whoever will come will not go away from your house without having food. These days, people get, petrified. They have come unannounced. It's difficult to cook for them. What will I do? Would you like to have something? No, no, no. Okay, fine. That's it. What is the work? What do you want from me? But if you remember your elders, they insisted on having Brahm, Devta, Brahmand food. So God, give me this much that I can feed my family well, I can feed myself, and I can feed the guest that comes unannounced.
Unannounced.
That's simple.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhaiya.